Hare Krishna, Shivatma Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Danda Pranam, Prabhuji.
Dandavats, Prabhu.
You can also switch on your video, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So, devotees, Hare Krishna. Welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. And today is 21st October. We're going to hear the nectar from His Grace Shivatma Govind Prabhu from Canto 5th, Chapter 1, text number 21. Prabhuji, over to you. Hare Krishna.
Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jayo Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. I've been told that the shloka will be 5.1.29. Hope I'm correct.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So,
do you want me to share, Prabhuji, on the screen?
Yeah, I think I can.
Okay, Prabhuji.
I will read this. So this is reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, The Creative Impetus, Chapter 1, verse 29. This is a very long and continuously like a train, long train, the shloka is. So I don't expect any repetition. Probably you can chant within. Evan upashmayaneshu swataneshwa ata jagati pathir jagatim arbudhani ekadasha parivartashranam avyaktakhila purushakarashara sambhatadora dhanda yugala pitirita maurvi guna stanita viramitha dharma pratipaksho Brahasmatasya Chanudinam Edamana Pramoda Prasharna Yushinya Vriddha Pramusta Hasavaloka Ruchira Kshveli Adibhi Parabhyumana Mana Viveka Ivanava Buddhyamana Iva Mahamana Gubuje. Very sweet shloka. The translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After Kavi, Mahavira, and Savana were completely trained in the Paramahamsa stage of life. Maharaja Priyavrata ruled the universe for 11 arbudhas of years. Whenever he was determined to fix his arrow upon his bowstring with his two powerful arms, all opponents of the regulative principles of religious life would flee from his presence in fear of the unparalleled prowess he displayed in ruling the universe. He greatly loved his wife, Bharishmati, and with the increase of days, their exchange of nuptial love also increased. By her feminine behavior, as she dressed herself, walked, got up, smiled, and laughed and glanced about, Queen Bharishmati increased his energy. Thus, although he was a great soul, he appeared lost in the feminine conduct of his wife. He behaved with her just like an ordinary man, but actually he was a great soul. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this verse, the word dharma pratipakshai, opponents of religious principles, refers not to a particular faith, but to varnashrama dharma, the division of society, socially and spiritually, into four varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and four ashramas: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. To maintain proper social order and help the citizen gradually progress toward the goal of life, namely spiritual understanding, the principles of Varnashrama Dharma must be accepted. From this verse, Maharaja Priyavrata appears to have been so strict in maintaining this institution of Varnashrama Dharma that anyone neglecting it would immediately flee from his presence as soon as the king warned him by fighting or administering the light punishment. Indeed, Maharaja Priyavrata would not have to fight, for simply because of his strong determination, they did not disobey the rules and regulations of Varnashrama Dharma. It is said that unless human society is regulated by Varnashrama Dharma, it is no better than a bestial society of cats and dogs. Maharaja Priyavrata, therefore, strictly maintained Varnashrama Dharma by his extraordinary, unparalleled prowess. To maintain such a life of strict vigilance, one needs encouragement from his wife. In the Varnashrama Dharma system, certain classes, such as the Brahmanas and Sannyasis, do not need encouragement from the opposite sex. Kshatriyas and Grihasthas, however, actually need the encouragement of their wives in order to execute their duties. Indeed, a Grihastha or a Kshatriya cannot properly execute his responsibilities without the association of his wife. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally admitted that a Grihastha must live with a wife. Kshatriyas were even allowed to have many wives to encourage them in discharging the duties of government. The association of a good wife is necessary in life of karma and political affairs to execute his duties properly. Therefore, Maharaja Priyavrata took advantage of his good wife, Bharishmati, who was always very expert in pleasing her great husband by properly dressing herself, smiling, and exhibiting her feminine bodily features. Queen Bharishmati always kept Maharaja Priyavrata very encouraged, and thus he executed his governmental duty very properly. In this verse, Iva has twice been used to indicate that Maharaja Priyavrata acted exactly like a henpecked husband and thereby seemed to have lost his sense of human responsibility. Actually, however, he was fully conscious of his position as a spirit soul, although he seemingly behaved like an acquiescent karmi husband. Maharaja Priyavrata thus ruled the universe for 11 arbudas of years. One arbuda consists of 100 million, 100 billion years, and Maharaja Priyavrata ruled the universe for 11 such arbudas. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshun Thanina Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Darati Swapadam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopira Kanta Radha Kanta Namastuti Tapta Khanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari. Panchakalpatarubhascha kripa sundabhayavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Panchakalpatarubhascha kripa sundabhayavacha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Om Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna. Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati. Hare Krishna. Very long shloka, like a train, but only 2 paragraphs. Very impactful, very interesting. 2 important paragraphs. It's been explained here by Srila Prabhupada. So,
Shivatma Govind Prabhu, sorry, can you come a little closer, Prabhuji? Is it possible? So that the audio can be little less.
Voice is low.
No problem, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Is it okay now?
It seems to be better, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
I'll try to be louder, Prabhu. Please forgive me.
Thank you. Thank you.
So here the scenario is the marriage background of Maharaj Priyavrata. Priyavrata Maharaj is not an ordinary person or a very simple Maharaj. He's a very special, very great personality, a renunciant actually. And he's a very great devotee of the Lord. So how we can see how he was like billions of years he was ruling the world, and his capabilities. Just an ordinary person cannot do this. Among that, he is a very renunciant, and but his forefathers and his father, they wanted him to rule the world with more responsibilities, and they wanted him to get marriage. So we have all heard why this marriage is been come when the responsibility comes. So whenever the parents feels that their kids are going away from their path or going some deviations happening, they feel that, okay, let them be settled. We'll get them, perform their marriages. So they will be in one place and they will take care of the responsibility, handling the responsibility. So they will get more graveness in their lives and they'll become more serious. So the same way, I remember when my younger brother, my cousin brother was born, I was a little bit grown up. The kid that my brother was very much naughty, and he was, as a kid, they'll just move around. They'll not be able to walk. They want to just crawl and pull out everything and do. So my aunt was having a trick of tying him to a one of the hook or one of the sofa handle or chair handle, so that the distance will be that much that he cannot stretch more than that. He'll just be in one circle. So he'll be playing around with that only. Like that, the tightness of the marriage is also is that attachment. It's actually a protectiveness actually. So to bring Maharaj Priyavrata into this kind of more responsible ruling of this world, his father Manu, Manu wanted him to get married, and this meeting was there, a family meeting was there, where his mentor Narada Muni also is present, and they were discussing and trying to convince him for getting married. And in between, Brahma also came, his grandfather. Brahma came and he entered the scenario in the meeting, and he also started convincing Maharaj Priyavrata to get into the Grihastha life. So now, not just one, two, three people, great people, his mentor, his father, and his grandfather, all three of them are there. Of course, what I observe is Narada Muni is actually in one side. He want Maharaj Priyavrata to be a renunciant only. But the other two, father and grandfather, they're on one side. They're telling him to get married. So there are two votes for marriage and one vote for, and all these three are not a simple people. They're all Mahajanas actually. So all three Mahajanas speaking and convincing him what other choice a person can have. It's a very special consolation of three people and asking him to get married. So he didn't had any choice. He has to get into the marriage life, and he got married to this lady. I think he, as per my understanding, he get into multiple marriages also. So here specifically, it's been given in this Queen Barishmati. So she was a very great lady and very beautiful, very adoring, and a grihini, how she should be a perfect wife for the Maharaja Priyavrata. So she was so wonderful and so good, and Maharaj Priyavrata also behaving like a henpecked husband. So with her walking, movements, smiling whenever, and he also behaves like that, a suitable husband actually. And just imagine such a great person becoming like a henpecked husband. Is it possible? No, it's not actually. In our discussion, we will have those points also, how Maharaj Priyata was like that externally, but internally he was a very perfect person, like king. So there'll be two ashrams are very important, like Grihastha ashram and Brahmacharya ashram. How important for a person's life actually. When a person gets into the marriage life, Grihastha, the economy grows actually. Economy grows because when people get married, not just getting into the family life without marriage, no, that will not, economy will not grow for that. Because when a person get into the marriage life and the family life, then there'll be growth of economy because of the family grows, then demands increases. He has to work to achieve those goals. So the economy grows. But whereas when directly a person get into a family life, there are no responsibilities, there is no commitment, there is there is no growth at all. There is no spiritual growth nor economic growth. So this brahmachari ashram and grihastha ashram are very important phases of a person actually. This both ashrams will act as a borderline for our life's expansion, the growth, because when there is no border or there is no shield, that there is no protection. In the brahmacharya life also, when there is like in the temple, I'm speaking about brahmachari means a person lives in the ashram, they will have some limitations. What I can say, building a fort surrounding his life. So there will be no financial independence. There will be no time independence. So both, there is no independence. What will happen in a brahmachari ashram is a person, a brahmachari, has to report on time for a mangalarti, on time for the prasadam. Even if he misses mangalarti, there is no prasadam, and maybe a special variety of that days will be missing out. So everything is being protected there. If he follows everything properly, he is protected and he is taken care. Even he wants to spend anything from the ashram, he has to get the permission from his seniors or mentors, and for everything he has to be accounted. He cannot spend just like that. Even in a family life, even in a school time, the parents used to give the pocket money. Just that's a limitation. We can spend only that much amount only, not beyond that, because that's our capacity. So in the same way, there is a limitation, there is a fortress, there is a safety, the shield is there, protection is there. So in the grihastha life also, to get that protection, they had to get into the family life, the married life actually, how the wife acts as an inspirational or center of all the activities, I can say. To take care of the family, a person works. Everything is systematic. He feels that I have to go home. I have a family and I have kids. They have to take care. So going early to home or on time and giving time for them is necessary. But in the case of a brahmachari life also, in the ashram, they have to go back home to the ashram on time, and so what my point is, when a person is outside without any control or without any attachment or without any, he is a freelancer, there is no growth, there is no spiritual activity. Everything will be okay, who is going to ask me? There is no attachment, there is no responsibility. A freelancer, and he can do anything, whatever, and he can spend whatever the amount without any limitations or any spend any time anywhere. So this, both the ashrams acts as a shield or a protection to a person actually. So even I remember how a grihastha acts as a fort. But Prahlad Maharaj, preaching to 5-year-old kids, he was also much younger, 5 years that age. So he was preaching, don't get in the grihastha ashram. He was telling bhakti is important now. So now his friends are, Prahlad Maharaj's friends are telling, let's go and play. Over, everything is done now. Let's go and play. He said, we are 5 years old. We already spent time playing. Now it's a time for bhakti. Where is we are running short of the time. We should waste it. We have already wasted the time, and we should get into the bhakti life. So be serious. So he was telling like this, how marriage is an attachment. That's what he meant, Prahlad Maharaj. So, and I can read out that shloka, what he tells, how a marriage life is an attachment. And of course, that attachment is also protection for us. I will read this a translation from this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. The translation goes like this: how can a person who is most affectionate to his family, the core of his heart, that is his family, being always filled with their pictures, give up their association? How it is possible to give up the association with that kind of pictures in his heart? Huh? Specifically, a wife is always very kind and sympathetic and always pleases her husband in a solitary place. Who could give up the association of such a dear and affectionate wife? Small children talk in broken language, very pleasing to hear, and their affectionate father always thinks of their sweet words. How could he give up their association? One's elderly parents and one's sons and daughters are also very dear. A daughter is especially dear to her father, and while living at her husband's house, she is always in his mind. Who could give up the association? Aside, aside from this, in household affairs, there are many decorated items of household furniture, and there are also animals and servants. Who could give up such comforts? The attached householder is like a silkworm. So like this, the explanation goes. The point is, when he has all these things attached, man, how we can go beyond these things? He'll be within this border, and this border actually protects him uh, without any deviation. With this, there is a progress in Krishna consciousness without deviation. So that's why the varnashrama is very important in everybody. It is not just varnashrama is for non-devotees, not just for non-devotees, including devotees. It is for our spiritual progress. It is very important actually. So what the bachelor in ashram and married and living with wife and husband, that the family, that this is where I'm referring to as a grihastha. Nowadays, I mean, many people, not nowadays, many things will happen in their some people's life, like they'll be married but they'll not be living together, because each and every person, the scenario is different. Some people, so husband is working, wife also is working in different places, different time scenarios, different countries sometimes in some lives, and they never come together, speak or exchange words. So in their cases, how this kind of life can be given, like a affectionate attachment, there is a protection. So I had somebody were telling, because family life is not being available in the house, because both are working, they're going outside, mm, um, then what will happen? They will make a family at the office. Family is at the office. So what kind of life is that? Um, so grihastha means living with the spouse. That is actually the grihastha, and it is very much necessary for our spiritual growth. And even a brahmachari's life also, living in ashram is very important. I have seen many things nowadays is coming up. I mean, maybe my attention has come up recently on them. Like I've seen some people in the news also, it is coming that what is that called as men and women, though they're brahmacharis, living together. What is that called as some kind of ashram? I cannot say it's an ashram.
Living in,
Living,
living in relationship.
living in co-living in, something like that. Living in relationships, or not even relationships. They will have a relationship, but not very serious relationship, without marriage life. So not even this kind of living is considered as a brahmachari life. No. So what I meant here is brahmacharis living in ashram in a particular, not even base, because base is also in a transition period. So education life is done and working. Now looking for a grihastha life change over. So either in between, this is very, very risky. Between the brahmachari and grihastha life, that vacuum is there. It is Maya can attack anybody, anywhere. It's very in various positions it can attack. So in between the brahmachari and grihastha, we should be very, very careful, and both the ashrams will protect us without any difficulties. So choosing any of this is very important actually. Now, even I was recollecting one of the past time how the grihastha life so important, even in very special persons in our parampara. The past time is like this. We know Raghunath Das Goswami. He was a very rich, um, rich family, I can say. Um, his parents were earning like maybe 10 lakhs gold coins per month. I mean, one gold coin per month now at this after 500 years also is a huge thing for us, isn't it? It's so much opulent. So those days, 500 years back only, they were earning 10 lakhs gold coins every month. And such a family, what other issues can be? But Raghunath Das Goswami was very, very attached to Mahaprabhu's instructions and Mahaprabhu's mercy. So he used to always run away from the home, and he used to stay with Mahaprabhu's association and all. So the parents were thinking, always they used to pull him back and get into the home like that. So parents of Raghunath Das Goswami, they were discussing how we can solve this issue, how we can make him more serious in his life, and all. So mothers suggest, why not we give him, get him married? So he will be more serious. Actually, he got already married to a very beautiful lady. So one side a beautiful lady, one side a rich family, the opulence and everything is there. Like what Prahlad Maharaj was speaking about, like all the furniture, all the homely requirements, everything is there. When everything is there, how a person can live this? When a good family, good children, good beautiful lady, everybody are there in the family as a wife. Just imagine how a person can go out. But Raghunath Das Goswami was going out. So father tells, no point. Actually, he is already married with a very beautiful lady, and she is not able to control him. She is not able to get the attachment for him. How it is possible? He has an attachment, Mahaprabhu's mercy. He is looking for Mahaprabhu's mercy. So it is no doubt it is very difficult. So like this. So actually a married life in those days also, from those days also, it was very important phase of the life, because wife plays an important role for an husband, and of course husband also plays a very important role for a wife in protection each other. So husband, we know that a deliverer of a wife, and she will submissively serve him for the mercy, and the husband will take care of the wife, protection, and they going back to the Lord. This will happen. That's what the grihastha life is supposed to be. So when a husband comes home, because the ideal grihastha or marriage family life, it will be husband works outside, and wife, the lady will work or serve him by taking care of all the other needs like cooking, supporting the deity worship, and so many other things. When a husband comes from the office, opening the door, getting in the glass of water, taking care of him, speaking lovely words. So all these things will inspire, supports, attachment increases, and direct a husband to one stage, the base will be built up, and kids speaking sweet words. So all these things will give a built up a very strong base. On this base, the bhakti life can be built. So bringing in Krishna, the Krishna consciousness in this ashram will be very, very important and pleasant life, peaceful grihastha life. So here in this verse, that is, I think, second paragraph in the purport, how a husband is, Maharaj Priyavrata is behaving like a henpecked husband. Actually, he's not henpecked husband. He is reciprocating. He is giving the feedback. He is giving the reciprocation like that. That's how the inspiration to one to on each other will give. But he never lost in his heart the purpose of human life. That's what it is mentioned here. The purpose of human life, the spiritual life, is never given up. Although externally he may be looking like that, he may be behaving like that, but internally he is the perfect grihastha, perfect king, perfect devotee. So externally, whatever it happens, we should not judge. So judging a person with external, his behavior, his attitude, should never happen. That one lesson we can learn from this. This can happen to anybody, any special person, any great personality also. I remember one pastime where Gadadhar Pandit and Mukundatha, they were very close friends, very very close discussion, like a very close friends. And one time, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, a great personality, great devotee of the Lord, comes to their town, and Mukundatta will tell Gadadhar Pandita, can you go there and see him? We'll have a darshan and can meet him, so we can have an association. Gadadhar Pandita, okay, let's go. We'll go and see, because Gadadhar Pandit already learnt about Pundarik Vidyanidhi with great glorifications about him, how great he is about a devotee, the devotee's life and everything. So when they go there, they meet him. And the scenario will be Pundarik Vidyanidhi will be sitting on a throne, in a higher position, and beside them, the two servants will be fanning him. So seeing this scene, Gadadhar Pandit got uncomfortable, or uneasiness, or what I can say, ununderstandable, got confused. How it is possible? I heard about him. He's such a great devotee, and a great devotee in this kind of position. So he was suspicious, or he was not comfortable looking at devotee, because he had a different picture about him in his mind earlier. But after seeing this scene, he was a little bit confused. At that time, Mukundatta understood what is going to happen is in his mind, Gadadhar Pandit's mind. So that time he chants one shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam. What is this? So this is all external, what Gadadhar Pandit is. I'll just take out that shloka. Maybe you can all repeat if possible. It's very nice shloka about a putana. So aho bhakiyam sthana kala kutam jigham saya payudha api ashadvi lebhe gathim dhatri uchitam tato anyam kamva dhyalum sharanam rajema. So what it means is, alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of mother to a she-demon, that is Putana, although she was unfaithful and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. So this shloka he chants, Gunadatta, and Aho Bhaki. Bhaki means like Bakasura's sister. So she came and she feeding the Lord with poisoned milk. that's a poison is such a grievous poison means with only the smell of that a person can die. That kind of poisonous milk been poison has been smeared to her breast and is been feeding to the Lord. But what mm, um, Lord has seen is she wanted to feed milk. So who can feed the milk? Mother. So the mother has to get a great position, and the Lord is so merciful. He gives the position of the mother in Goloka. So such a great thing. So this sloka Mukundatta started chanting. So at that time, um, Pundarik Vidyanidhi hears this, and his hairs will be rising, and he will be, go into trance, and he will just fall on the ground. It started rolling. Seeing the symptoms of a great personality like this, Gadadhar Pandit understands he must not be an ordinary person. He's a special person, and I did offended him, thinking about him wrongly. So, and that's how he wanted to serve Pundarik Vidyanidhi throughout his life. And he surrenders to him and take the Diksha from Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And that's how the disciple and the father and actually in the previous Lila, this is Gaur Lila, in the previous Lila, Raja Lila, actually Pundarik Vidyanidhi is Radharani's father, Rishabhanu Maharaj. So in the previous Raja Lila, they are father and daughter, and in the Gaur Lila, spiritual father and the disciple. So that's also externals. We should always be careful. We cannot judge a person with their external behavior, or so we should never go by externals. So Vaishnavas, their activity or their externals or will be different sometimes, and but they're internally, like Maharaj Priyavrata, internally they are very cautious, conscious, and very special thoughts, spiritually devoted, and all things will happen. So we should not imitate the senior. That's what the point also comes up. So there is in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu will tell about Vaishnavare Kriya Mudra. So we cannot, we cannot just imitate a pure devotee like that because he has done, I will do it. So sometimes we also do some wrong things, and we can say that Vaishnavare Kriya Mudra. No, it is only applies to special devotees and great devotees. Very pure devotees only, not for everyone, not like a person like me. So in the external behavior of Maharaj Priyavrata should not be judged. He was very serious internally and is a perfect devotee. So we'll come to the first paragraph where Varnashrama is been described, and how important is in one's spiritual life. It applies to the devotees also. So for Varnas and for ashramas, for a happy Vaishnava community, this has to be followed, because when a person understands what are the qualities of he has, on that basis he acts and takes up the services, then everything will be peaceful. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, how the Varnashrama has been explained, like on the basis of the qualities and the his background, his thoughts, on that basis will be guna karma vibhagasha. So guna and karma, so both are very important. When a person knows what kind of gunas he has, and that where it is going to be fitting in serving the Lord and pleasing the Lord, then the Lord will be pleased much more easily, much more pleasantly, without any difficulties. There will be no friction. There will be no, because sometimes when we see when a person has, a devotee has a Shudra gunas, for example, cleaning or taking care, maintaining all such things, he may not be able to take the decisions, judging or a managerial level. If that person is given the service of a managerial position, then what will happen? His guna is not like that. And a administrative person, gunas, like a kshatriya, and is given a shudra services, then there will be a lot of confusions. The execution of the services will be failure. Nothing will be successful. And that is what Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, when he was inspiring Arjuna. You are a kshatriya, actually. You should behave like a kshatriya. Don't be like a fool and go to as a mendicant going into the forest. No, doesn't suit you. So you are, you are coming in such a parampara and you are a kshatriya. That is your primary duty. So when we know our gunas and where we can fit in the services of the Lord, that is a perfect combination. And pleasing the Lord is the ultimate, actually, obviously. So we can easily please him without any hassles. That this is where the misunderstandings comes among the many people, or including the devotees. The community, the Vaishnava community should be peaceful, without any rubbings or misunderstandings, confusions. So Varnashrama Dharma also should be implemented and will be followed seriously. Then everything will be smooth, everything will be perfect, and the Lord will be pleased. One-to-one cooperation, the Lord will be much pleased, actually. Struggle will be there, but it is very important to this. Whatever we have spoken about the Varnashrama and whatever it is, this is only a basic. Upon this, the bhakti has to be built. That is very important, actually. Bhakti is powerful, no doubt. But unfortunately, we have our own packages, the kit of the karma, the background of our karma, and this body ailments, and a lot of mind backgrounds from different lives. All this background make a person very difficult to go ahead in the spiritual life. But when we know our gunas, we should identify ourselves, what gunas I have, what is a priority, and what good I am at. Then that goodness has to be used in the service of the Lord. Then everything will be successful. See, there are many yoga systems. The difference between this bhakti yoga is this: there is a protection. There will be, it takes care, everything change, because devotional life is involved in that, in bhakti. But in other yogas, the deviation can happen. That is a difference, actually. Everything is taken care in bhakti. So Lord takes all the tensions. Only we have to execute the devotional life. The Lord will take care. The Lord, he is totally tensed, actually. Our tensions he has taken. So that is how he comes in different avatars. Otherwise, why he has to come up? Because the desires of the devotees, prayers of the devotees, he takes a lot of tensions, pressures, and he comes and pleases us, the devotees. So we should be make ourselves in that fort, and these ashrams are very important in a devotee's life. So Krishna and Guru are ready to tolerate anything for us. If we know these things, the relationship among the devotees will be very pleased, very easy, and go pleasantly, isn't it? See, when we know one that important thing, going back to the Lord in the Golaka Vrindavana, my position is already fixed. It is there. Now it is empty because I'm here. But when I know that my position is there and nobody can occupy that, my position is fixed with the Lord. Why the confusion should be? Why there should be any difficulties? My position cannot be taken away by anybody. My position is always there. So, I mean, Guru and Krishna, Gauranga, they're all taking so much of tolerance from all of us. I remember how the spiritual master, a senior devotee, how they will be tolerating people without cooperation or without understanding, without knowledge, they will behave. Like when Srila Prabhupada in the Western country, when he was there, at that time, before Guru Puja, Charnamrita will be served, and then Prabhupada comes there in a queue and he will have Charnamrita there. The Charnamrita was tasting salty actually. So he was not comfortable taking that salty Charnamrita. Somehow he consumed. He went back and sat on the Vasasana. So beginning he asked, who made this Charnamrita? So one Mataji got up and said, Prabhupada, it's me. So she was not so much serious, or because Prabhupada is very gravely asking this, but she was just easily saying, hey, it's me, Prabhupada. Then immediately he asked the temple president, please change the service of this preparing the Charnamrita. This is salty and it should not be like this. So he was very upset. And in the same way, sometime, I think first Vyasa Puja of Srila Prabhupada, what happened is the next day of Janmashtami, all the members were busy, got tired and everything. And next day is Prabhupada appearance day. Prabhupada sat on the Vyasasana for Vyasa Puja, and all the disciples and the followers, they were standing in front of him without any understanding or without any what next to be done. They don't know. Everything is paused. And Prabhupada is asking, he's expecting his disciples to understand what the Vyasa Puja is supposed to be and how it will be done, and the procedures and everything. But somehow it didn't happen. We are all looking at each other and finding out, and Prabhupada is getting grave, and one of the devotee got maybe he's expecting something and we are not able to do each other, looking at faces, confusion. So Prabhupada started gravely speaking, saying that is there any Pushpa Yatra? So one of the devotees, they thought that Pushpa Yatra means Pushpa Anna or something like that, some variety of food Prabhupada is expecting. So a few devotees run to the kitchen and they started preparing it. Prabhupada got really upset. He says, what's happening? Why you are not understanding? You don't know how to celebrate Vyasa Puja of your Guru, and the disciples are like this. You come to my room today evening, I will explain you, and tomorrow we'll celebrate the Vyasa Puja. So he was tolerating so many things like this. So at the end of the day, few disciples went to the Prabhupada's room and they were apologizing and asking the Prabhupada, probably we have offended you. Prabhupada, we are sorry, we don't know what to do. So did we really offended you like that? So Prabhupada said, no, I will not take your offenses. So you are not offensive. That's what I mean. Prabhupada is very, very tolerant, and even all the senior devotees, all the spiritual masters, all the gurus, all the sannyasis, all the senior devotees, they're all very tolerant. The Krishna is tolerant, gurus are tolerant. So what else we need? If we know our guna and activities, what to be done to please the Lord, that is enough. The life is successful. Our position in Goloka is ultimate. It is fixed. Nobody is taking our position. A person is working, serving in the temple from very long time, and a new person will comes into the system, and he started looking into the services very seriously. But a person in the world, person should not think that he's been just now come and he's been glorified much, I'm not been glorified, like this. Actually, service to the Lord, whether it is cooking, whether it is deity worship, whether it is watching the devotees footwear at the beginning, everything is devotional life. Some things are glorified, something is not glorified. It doesn't matter because the position is fixed in the Goloka. So the Varnashrama is very important. But I'll just summarize. Probably, have I taken more time?
No problem, you can summarize, no problem. Thank you.
So I'll just summarize like what we should learn from this today's shloka. Deep in devotional service is very important. Otherwise, no realizations. And what the deep into the devotional service means, chant and hear holy names. That deepness should be there. So we should identify and do that. Intense spiritual desires, and when we compare it to the material desires, the intensity of spiritual life, spiritual desire should be intense than the material. Sometimes we feel that when we desire some things, even though I'm a great devotee from many years, I'm chanting, association is there, everything is happening, why it is not been fulfilled? Sometimes it happens like I want to chant 4 more rounds extra today, but it's not getting happening like that. Every day it is a failure. We'll just chant 16 rounds, keep aside those beats, and we'll forget, and the remembrance will happen only in the next day morning. That's it. So when we start meditating on chanting 4 extra rounds throughout the day, then end of the day or next day we can do that. That intense meditation on what to be done is not happening probably. So that is how it happens. When a material desire, why it fulfills? Because the intensity of achieving that goal is higher. Here, just chanting and keeping aside the beats, and no thought about it later day. But material desires, we always think very intensely, and somehow it is been achieved. And ultimately, what today is we should analyze ourselves, the nature, and engage suitable for that in our devotional services. And that's how we can please, and the Vaishnava community will be harmonious. Make ultimately the Guru and Gauravanga the proudness of our Vaishnava community about us. How, when it happens, when we please us, how do we please? When we execute our devotional services perfectly without any hassles, the Guru and Gauranga will be pleased. That is the ultimate. When the Vaishnava community is harmonious, that is a proudness actually we should give to the Guru and Gauranga. So Hare Krishna. Please forgive me, it have taken much time. There are much more important points, but I don't know how I can complete this. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of other points also that you have to prepare from a time limit that we have. So thank you, Prabhu. You summarized also. I will unmute the lines and devotees can devotees can try unmuting themselves and you can ask questions, inputs, comments, thoughts.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. I just have one question because I didn't hear properly. When they wanted to meet Pundarika Vidyanidhi, what does he see, Prabhu? Advaitacharya? Prabhu, you are muted. Prabhu, you are muted.
Hare Krishna. So, Gadadhar Pandit and Mukunda Datta, they were very close friends. They went to meet Pundarik Vidyanidhi. So there, Pundarik Vidyanidhi was sitting on a higher raised platform or something like that, one asan, and two of his servants were fanning him.
Okay.
So when we know that he's a devotee of the Lord, and our picture is different. We feel him is a sadhu, saint, mendicant, like that. But when they saw with this understanding, Pundarik Vidyanidhi is getting the services like this and in opulent life. So Gadadhar Pandit couldn't understand, confused. So that's what happened, Mother.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. I mistook it for Advaitacharya. Thank you, Prabhu.
And in fact, when Srila Prabhupada also was asked, why you want a car? You are a saint. So Prabhupada is a saint, is a sannyasi. Why you want a car? So that's what they were asking, because Prabhupada had one or two cars. He had a very opulent car actually. So people think when a saint comes means he's an ordinary, simplified life. But when a disciples offer him so many, everything should be utilized in the service of the Lord. That's what Prabhupada meant, and he explained to them. So how it could, I know better how to use in the service of the Lord.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhuji, it was a very good narration of the intensification of our spiritual activities, and we have to increase our service to the Lord. But I am not, as you are, what you have said in the class, I feel I am not up to the mark. How can I intensify my spiritual life? Though I am seeing a little bit progress in spiritual life. Further, how can I intensify my service to the Lord? This is my point, Prabhu.
Yeah. That's what I was telling in another point, where we think that I need to do more devotional life service, but it is not happening. Like when I wanted to chant 4 more rounds every day extra, but I'm not able to do it because that intense meditation is missing. That's what my realization. When we start meditating, start thinking about it, somehow we can plan up. When we do like this, the Lord sitting in our heart will definitely help when you start meditating on that. And
meditation means you are referring to chanting, Prabhu?
I'm giving the example of chanting. A person wants to chant every day 4 rounds,
Yes,
but
Prabhu.
failing every day because morning he chants and he will never think about chanting throughout the day. And then again, next day morning only, he will think about the chanting.
Yes,
but
Prabhu.
when we come to know that I need to chant 4 more rounds extra, and I can entire day, when I start meditating on that, somehow the Lord gives the the plan or the idea or time. He gives 48 hours also.
Hari.
When you meditate intensely, if it is really pleasing the Lord will give not just 24 hours, 48 hours for you.
Hari.
The same
Very nice, Prabhu.
what activities you want to serve the Lord. First of all, we should identify what gunas I have. What is my
yes.
nature, and where this nature can be fitted in pleasing the Lord. That if you identify, you are a successful person.
Hari. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hari.
Thank you, Prabhu. There are 2 comments also in the chat, thanking you for the wonderful and inspirational class and the teachings, Prabhu, from the points from the classes, Prabhu. So thank you so much. Any other questions from devotees or comments? Prabhuji, if I may ask, the takeaway that I had was that wonderful point when you gave the example of Pundarak Vidyanidhi, Gadadhar Pandit and Mukunda, was that never judge a person from the external appearance. And I think that is one of the mistakes definitely I personally make a lot. What is the best way, Prabhuji, to try and avoid such situations, Prabhuji?
That's what this usually confusion or mistakes happens because we have our own prerogative thoughts about a person. I already judged about him. Now that external activities of a person will add up to his thoughts again. Actually, externally is not that one. Actually, when we know Krishna never cheats person. Isn't it? Krishna will cheat. He never cheats a devotee. He always gives extra care and extra life, extra, attention to the devotee. And in fact, he has reserved a special place exclusively for us, individually. That's our relationship with the Lord. That's a unique relationship with the Lord. If this is understood, this is kept in our mind, remember, then what else can be disturbance? Nothing can be disturbance. When external activities of a person or behavior should not disturb us, actually, first of all. When I know my unique relationship with the Lord is fixed, it is identified, it is there, and nobody can take that position, that relationship. That's it, Prabhu. That's the understanding should be there.
Yes, Prabhu. So the contemplation should be internal rather than looking at external and the other external.
I heard from, I think, Rome Padaswami Maharaj, there was a seminar in our temple. He gave a very clarified, clear understanding about this. Discrimination among devotees, but it should be internal. It should not be exposed. It is all intimate about a person. And with that, if we are matching our gunas, then we should go and associate.
Yeah, thank you. Wonderful clarification. Thank you so much, Ravi. Devotees, any other devotees have any other questions or comments or thoughts? Okay. I think we'll end with the Vaishnava Pranams, Ramesh. Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Pasi Patitana Pavani Vaishnava Pyo Nanda Koti Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thank you so much. I'll end the class now. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.